and welcome to another edition of the Technical Area Podcast. Joining me today is
Rob, West Ham fan.
Kieran, Palace fan.
Lee, Arsenal fan.
and myself, Jason, Chelsea fan. Handing you over now to Lee with the scores from the weekend.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk. First thing to talk about: Man City beating Huddersfield 6-1 at home. I mean, these are the champions that. Can we really see anybody stopping them?
I think it's important to go back to last weekend when we were sitting here saying Liverpool potentially won the league in their first game. But it's got to be a 2-2 race for me, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. It's out of Man City or Liverpool. Liverpool will give them a good fight, but I just think City's got the quality to beat anybody. On their day, I just don't think they're unbeatable, I think. Okay?
Yeah, I think there's no way of beating them. And then I'm just looking at the next games. They've got like Wolves, Newcastle, Fulham, Cardiff. So they're going to be well above there.
I mean,
By the end of September, yeah.
You look at like people even saying, players are getting older. But you look at like Silva, who everyone went, he's getting a bit older now. He might have the season. You look at the game he had against Huddersfield. It was.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal at the end of the day when he replaced De Bruyne in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
That sort of creative spark that people thought they'd be missing.
To me, that just shows Man City's depth with the fact of they lost De Bruyne and yet it didn't even matter.
Yeah, they still absolutely slaughtered them.
Yeah.
But there was no big sort of like, they lost De Bruyne and it didn't really trouble them. You didn't go, we've lost De Bruyne, we're going to struggle now. It's like, we'll put Mahrez in, we'll put Silva in, we'll put like so many players they could put in.
Yeah,
it just don't matter. They can get an injury and still try to be a challenge for the league.
Moving on to the next game we're going to talk about. Liverpool beating Palace 2-0 on Monday Night Football. Kieran, as a Palace fan, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, being a Palace fan, I would say there were some questionable referee decisions, but I don't went into that game expecting to beat them, and I think we'll be alright. I think it was a bad game, really.
Do you think that it was a dive for Salah?
Personally, I think it was. I think he got the ball and was looking for the dive, or waiting for contact.
Yeah, I think that is what a lot of people will say. There's a difference between diving and waiting for the contact. He felt the slightest little touch of contact and went down.
But is that nowadays what players do because they know that's how they get away with it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think players are too protected. As soon as they go down a little touch, that's it. It's a yellow card, a red card, or a penalty. It's not he could have stand his feet there. Everyone does it these days. They always go down and don't stand their feet.
I think as well, even though the Premier League doesn't have VAR, I think even if VAR was in place, the ref would have to give the penalty still because there was contact.
Yeah.
Contact, which once again, I think that's how now that is going to be the new way of players diving, so to speak. Just waiting for that little touch of contact, goes down, even falls, VAR.
I think taking all the negative out of that game, was it a dive, was it not? Credit where it's due, Liverpool's performance in that game.
Yeah.
Some people are saying they weren't up to scratch and it was more individual performances got them the win, but is that not what title winners are made out of?
I mean, you can say that they did that a lot of times last season as well, though, where it was a Salah masterclass that got on the 3 points. So it's more the same really from Liverpool. Moving on slightly to, maybe the shock of the weekend. Brighton beating Man United.
God, that was a mad one, that one. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Like Brighton, they've been doing alright, but there was no... I didn't see that coming. I was watching it and I could not believe what I seen when they were 2-0 up.
So do you think then that it was a case of Brighton are looking that strong this season, or are United looking that poor this season?
I think it's United looking a bit poor this season. I'm not going to take anything away from Brighton. They were really good, but I think under Mourinho, with the team they've got, they're not the same team. They're not the same team anymore.
Have they been since Fergie left though? Have they had that identity that under Fergie they always had? They always had that sort of, you're going to go to Old Trafford or Man United are coming to you. This is going to be a tough game here.
Very much agree that the fear under the Fergie years has disappeared.
Man United is a winnable game nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said though. I think that Brighton might just be Man United's bogey team. Look at the fact that Brighton beat Man United last season, which was the game that sealed Brighton's stats in the Premier League for another year. It's killed them another year in Premier League football, which no one thought they were going to do last year. And now a couple of games into this season, they've done it again. Is it just a case of Chris Hughton knows how to beat a Jose Mourinho side?
You could say that, yeah, but at the same time, is it Brighton? Because if you look at Brighton, they don't have a bad record against the big six teams. Like, obviously I don't know off the top of my head, but I can't remember any memorable Brighton losses to a big six side. They've always seemed to be close games. Whereas with Man United, they're not winning anywhere near the level of games they should be. Like, do you think that this is Jose's time now? Is it the third season syndrome?
I believe so, yeah. I think he's... Like, the players under him, they don't look like the sort of players... You look at Paul Pogba, he's for France, and for Man U, I don't think he's helping the players, really. I think he needs to go, really.
I think... It's, at the end of the day, I think the same thing's going to happen to Jose that happened at Chelsea. He's going to lose the dressing room before long, and when that happens now in football, there's only ever one winner, and that's the players.
Because all he keeps wanting to come out and saying is, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. So the players are playing for him. Okay, well, what's wrong with us?
Yeah.
Like, why do you keep needing all this money when you've got us?
On that note there, Rob, that you're saying about that, there's a stat that came out this week. Since Alex Ferguson left, Man United have spent £775 million on new players. And when Ferguson was there, it was something like 500 million over the whole time he was there.
Yeah.
You sort of think, like, that's got to be telling you something for the players or the managers that they're getting in. Are they getting players of less quality, or is it just no one can replace a manager that was that good?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you've got to think from the way the transfer market's changed, even from Fergie leaving to now. I think when Fergie left, I think the world record was probably still Ronaldo at 80 million, and now you look at it, it's Neymar at 190. Mm-hmm. 190, a whole £100 million, £110 million more than it is now. I think but a lot of it is Fergie's management style. Fergie's management style he did manage to get the best out of his players.
Yeah, he could get the best out of poor players at the same time.
Exactly.
Which is something Mourinho's always struggled to do, really.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got to look at as well the managers before Jose. I think David Moyes
didn't do a lot.
Didn't do a lot, did he?
He done more at Everton.
Exactly.
And there was a big job to take on Alex Ferguson's Man United.
And then after that was Van Gaal.
Yeah.
Which I think really Van Gaal's job, once he came in after Moyes, was to right the ship. Yeah, steady the ship. Try and keep it stable again. Because I think everyone sort of knew that Van Gaal was a stopgap before Jose.
Yeah, because I think, if I'm remembering rightly, I think Jose, that was the same sort of time Jose come back to us.
Yeah, it was
around that time. If I remember rightly. Because he was leaving Madrid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next result.
There you go. Next result. I don't know if you'd really called it an upset, but it was very much important. West Ham losing to Bournemouth 2-1.
Rob?
Well, I don't know where to start here. To be fair, credit to Bournemouth. They went out and done what was needed. Another poor West Ham performance. But what I've seen lately, it's just the players don't look like they've gelled yet. I know we've had a hard Liverpool game away, which was never ever going to be easy. And then Bournemouth, we should have doing better against them. We've only scored a penalty in that game. We didn't score from open play.
Yeah.
But going back to the ground as well, we've only won 7 times in the last 2 years at that ground.
Yeah.
And people are saying like we shouldn't have moved, which I agree with. But it's like we've moved there now. We can't keep blaming on the stadium. The players have got to do their job as well.
Did you say you've won 7 times in 2 years at home?
Yeah, that's correct.
Go back to the point. When you was at the bowling ground, it was a thing of that you knew West Ham, you were so close to the pitch, the fans were so close to it. It was an intimidating place to go to. And now you go to an Olympic Stadium, which was a stadium that's not purpose built for football.
That's the problem nowadays, isn't it? Like, in a way, you could kind of see Tottenham's new stadium being the same when it's eventually done.
I think the only difference there is, of course, Tottenham's ground was purpose built for football. But you got to think with West Ham's new ground, they've got to come back with the running track and everything that's still got to be there for the athletics events.
I think with West Ham, I think they do need to start gel quickly. Otherwise, it will turn like the end of last season where it got really ugly. Like the fans were like pretty much fighting and like shouting at the owners and throwing coins. And I think they do need to gel pretty quick, otherwise it could get ugly.
That's the thing, innit? The owners seem to have just got the fans back on side again.
Yeah.
Hiring a Premier League winning manager, getting ridiculous amounts of good players there, and
just
not showing it.
Yeah.
But it's going back to the point where, obviously, we all wanted them to spend big this year. We needed to spend big, but when you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new players in, try and gel them with the team you've got. It's hard. You can't chuck. We started 5 new players against Liverpool, against a very good Liverpool side. They've not really played obviously a few pre-season games, but they've not played any competitive games together, and they've been told to go out and play. I just don't feel the confidence is there. After losing 4-0 against Liverpool, I think they got a bit down. I thought it's going to be a hard season, this one.
Okay. Now moving on to, I think what everyone's got to agree was the game of the weekend.
100%.
The weekend was Chelsea beating Arsenal 3-2 at Stamford Bridge.
Yes, we did, Lee. Yes, we did.
I'd like to say I was surprised by it, but really I fully expected to, after 6 games to go, after 2 games to be without a point. It was not. I don't think really you could have picked a harder 2 games to start off a season, or for Emery to start off his managerial stint. It was, but for actual value of the game was exciting. But I think it showed how both of us are nowhere near title challenging this year.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've read a few things about the game, and like some of the pundits and stuff saying that the way Chelsea played in that game was like sensational. We could quite easily push the likes of City and Liverpool all the way this year. But then you sit there and you go, if Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang could actually finish their dinner, would have been like 4-2 down by half time.
And you looked at it, if the half-time whistle came for the exact right moment for you, that last 10-15 minutes of the first half, your defence had gone to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
If we had another 5 minutes at the first half, there was a very, very, very good chance it was going to be 3-2 Arsenal going into half time.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, to be fair.
But I think it again showed with the depth when it got to half time. Okay, we brought on Lacazette, but you could bring on Eden Hazard.
Yeah.
And Eden Hazard once again was
stole the game for us, really.
You could say that Lacazette. Well, you could say Lacazette was at major fault for the third goal. I don't know what he was doing, placing the ball straight back, trying to play a ball from the halfway line back to his defence, with Eden Hazard lurking about. But
then at the same time, like, it was a good game at the end of the day. It was a very competitive game, and for me, like, I'm happy we won it, but I think for us that game showed a lot more faults than it did positives.
Yeah.
If you get where I'm coming.
I think it showed as soon as you come up with a decent side, you're going to concede goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because against Huddersfield aren't the team they were last year. They're not great this year. So it's one of them ones. As soon as you two played Chelsea Arsenal, you've both conceded. You both look like you could have conceded a lot more. So maybe against like a Man City side or a Liverpool side.
Expect big.
Yeah.
Big
I'm not sure your defences are too great, to be honest.
It's the same.
Arsenal's defence made Alvaro Morata look good.
Yeah. It's the same. It was the same. It was the same fault either under Wenger as it is under Emery. Our defence is still just not strong enough.
Speaking of what you just said there, about things being the same under Wenger as it is under Emery, Mesut Özil. This is a point I've been wanting to talk to you about for a while, and we've had people on Twitter mentioning to us that they'd like to hear about it. Mesut Özil, does he fit into Emery's squad? Do we reckon?
He still does, I think, but as he showed a game against Chelsea, he is not scared of, like Wenger was in a way, to if he's not performing well, he's going to get subbed off. He lasted 60 minutes against Chelsea before Emery went, "You're not doing what I'm asking you to do. Come off." I think that's going to be the difference under Emery a lot, is the fact that he isn't going to be scared to tell these players that you're not performing.
He's not scared to make the big call, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think so much of... I think Özil can play in any team. I think when he wants to play anyway, he can play on any team and be great. It's just a fact of when he wants to, really.
But then, is that the sort of player you want in your squad, like Rob? Would you... Obviously, you'd take Özil at West Ham, obviously.
Yeah.
But is that the sort of player you want? Like, for example, use Wilshere as an example. If Wilshere only ever turned up against Man United or Man City, is that the sort of player you want playing week in, week out when you're playing Bournemouth?
No, you want a player to give it 110% week in, week out. You need your players to be out going thinking this is the FA Cup final here every single game. But I don't know if you agree, Lee, but do you think Özil was comfortable under Wenger? Do you think now a new manager and he's got a bit unsettled, thinking actually I might not be the first name on the team sheet, and he just wants to go, or do you think he still wants to be there?
I think that 350 grand a week he's getting is going to be
It's the main thing keeping him there.
Yeah, that's the main thing going to keep him comfortable. But I think that's the thing. Whenever a new manager comes in, though, at a new club, I think everything immediately goes up in the air, and everybody's name comes off the team sheet. Everybody, the second a new manager comes in at any club, every player's got to earn their stay.
As you said though, like when Emery said we'll take him off if he ain't doing what is being asked of him, do you reckon he would want to stay or leave?
That comes back down to the mentality of players nowadays, doesn't it? Like, with Özil anyway, it seems like he doesn't want to play unless he can get the headlines. If you know what I'm saying.
I mean, I still think sometimes that Özil is scapegoated a bit too much. Like, you look at the fact that still since he's signed, no player in the Premier League has got more assists than he does since he signed. No player has created more goal scoring opportunities than Özil has since he signed. I do think sometimes he is scapegoated and people pick on him a little bit too much. Oh, he had a poor game. When you actually go down into the stat, you find out he made 10 goal scoring opportunities in that game, just no one converted them.
But then at the same time, nowadays, when you're sitting here with your strike force you have now, with your Aubameyang, your Lacazette, your Mkhitaryan even.
Yeah.
Like, I agree in a way, Özil is getting a lot of stick when, like you say, he's getting all these assists, all these goal scoring chances. However, why isn't the attack getting the criticism?
But is that not, like, is that Özil's job? And Özil's job is to create the chances for them strikers. If the strikers can't convert, is that his fault? He's given them the chance to convert. Is that not?
But I still think as a midfield player, he needs to be not. I'm not saying I want to see Mesut Özil sticking like an N'Golo Kante size challenge into like the opposition striker.
Yeah.
But I still think that they need to be running around the park trying to win the ball back, trying to give that extra half a yard. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree
The guy stands there.
I agree that Özil should be a little bit more defence. You can help out a bit more defensively. But again, if he's more of an attacking midfielder, isn't that not someone else's job again? Is that not Xhaka or Guendouzi, who are now playing in defensive midfield's job to shore up that defence?
Right, so going back to the Chelsea-Arsenal game at the weekend, where you played Kante attacking.
Yeah.
Okay, N'Golo Kante is arguably the world's best defensive midfielder at the minute. However, we're playing him attacking. Set up, I think there was a stat, wasn't there, that he set up like whatever it was amount of chances in the game, and it was like the second highest on the pitch. Yet he still got the most amount of tackles in the game.
I think, I think that's there's a difference between playing a defensive midfielder in an attacking midfielder role and playing an attacking midfielder in an attacking midfielder role.
So do you think Özil should be sat back a bit more?
I think he can track back more, but I'm just saying that I just don't think a lot of the stick that he gets is warranted. Is all I'm saying.
Right, boys, what do you think?
I think because obviously new wage and £350 a week, I think he's expected to do more now. I think he's expected to score goals, set up all these assists, and as soon as he doesn't do it, people go, "1 minute, you're like a top earner here. Why aren't you doing this?"
The thing is, though, going back to what you just said, Lee, about attacking midfielders not tracking back enough. If we look, I'm sure everyone listening to this now would have seen somewhere down the line that Wayne Rooney for DC United chasing that ball back from like the opposition goal box past the halfway line, doing like a last ditch tackle, getting the ball, going a few yards forward, and then like playing a beautiful assist into the box. Why is Özil not doing that?
I think it comes to a point of as well that I think the MLS and Premier League are two totally different things. MLS, you've got the, I'm not going to say, but a bit more freedom. You've got a bit more. It's a lesser league. It's not as intense. It's not as high paced.
But this is a 35-year-old or however old Rooney is now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Getting on a bit, still doing that in like the 96th minute of the football match. Why can't Mesut Özil do it in the 10th?
Because, like I said, that's not his role. Like Rooney in MLS is Rooney in MLS. He's got a free reign. He can do whatever he wants. He's Rooney in the MLS.
I reckon though, if you put Özil in the MLS, he'd probably do the exact same thing because, it's two different leagues, isn't it?
Yeah,
really?
exactly.
So what do we think though? The MLS is that good? The MLS is that bad, or is Rooney that good for it?
Actually, you've got to look at the players that the MLS attracts. As a good Premier League caliber player, gone to the MLS while they're say less than 30. They've gone out there for the tail end of their careers for an easy standard, for an easier level of football for around about the same money.
Question: name one player that's gone from the MLS to the Prem. That's decent.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
The only one off the top of my head I can think of was that Tim Room, and he wasn't that good.
No, he didn't do too much, did he?
Matt Miazga come to Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah. Where is he at now?
I think he's on loan again now. I'm shocked.
You look at the players that everyone thought was going to come from the MLS and do well.
Yeah.
Freddie Adu, that ended up.
Especially when you've got Bradley Wright Phillips as the top goal scorer in the MLS. That says it already, doesn't it?
The only one I can think of, to be honest though, out the top of my head, that has gone out there when he was relatively young and then sort of got something of himself is Sebastian Giovinco.
Yeah, I think he went too early. I think he was really good for Juventus. I think he just went way too early in his career. So he basically bossed the league.
Because he's been out there a while now, so hasn't he?
Yeah.
Don't know if he's still out there or not.
Yeah, I think he's still out there, yeah.
But yeah, what do we think though? The way Rooney's playing at the minute, do we think there's potential for him to, maybe back up Harry Kane back in the England squad? I know he's retired and it's not like he's just not getting selected. But do you reckon if Southgate looked at him as the option, do you reckon it could be worth it? Rob?
It's a hard one because he's at the age now, he's doing it in an MLS, he's probably, like to come back to your point, he's probably too good for MLS. But going to international football, is he at the quality to compete at the international level?
Jermaine Defoe did last year.
I think it's one of the questions. I reckon he's still good, do a good role for England, but I think he'd only be back up at the moment. I think Kane's the way forward at the moment for us.
I think Southgate has sort of made his thoughts known on the fact that he wants to push a younger squad than what we've had before, sort of moving out the old guard, so to speak. I don't see Rooney coming back into it or anything like that.
Okay, what's your thoughts?
I think if you've got like Dele Alli, Ruben Loftus-Cheek in there, whoever you want to play in that 10 role, I think you've just got a lot better players now. I don't think there's any really room for Rooney.
No, you got to think he's already moved out. Joe Hart was the big admission from that, from the big admission from that squad to bring in 3 younger goalkeepers.
No, I make you right there. Speaking of goalkeepers, though, there's obviously been 3 goalkeepers this season. Missed me cue there, boys. There's been 3 goalkeepers signed for big money this season, in the sort of shape of Kepa, the keeper, whatever his name is, Alisson, and obviously Ederson for Man City last season. Like, the reason these goalkeepers have been bought, arguably, is because they can play football from the back.
Yeah.
Peter Cech showed once again he's not capable of doing that. Do we think nowadays football's changed in a way that now a lot is sort of reliant on that?
I think it's managers want to play from the back. Like, Guardiola, he came in straight away and went, right, I want to play from the back. Joe White doesn't fit that bill. I'm getting Bravo in. Obviously, he had a bit of nightmare, so he got Ederson. But I think some of these managers like to play Route 1 football, which fits the check and that sort of thing. But when you got teams like City that want to play attacking on the floor, they need to have a goalkeeper that can play on the back. Don't know what you think here.
Yeah, I agree really. I think you need a goalie that can play it from the back.
Do you think that the point I was trying to make is is this goalkeepers playing from the back thing? Is it like when Conte first come to Chelsea, changed it to 3 at the back, that started winning football matches? Now everyone's jumping on that bandwagon.
I think it's more of the more European influences on the Premier League now. You got to look at every team that started to play this way, like the managers. As you said, Bobby, really started a couple of seasons ago with Guardiola. And as you just said, Conte coming moving to 3 at the back, and again, people have seen how well it's worked for Guardiola and have started to adapt it. And I think every manager that really brings in, there's been a foreign manager that thinks it works because they've seen it work in La Liga, they've seen it work in French, in the French League One, in Serie A. It's not. I think it's just a more European influence on the game.
Do we think that this is going to keep happening in a way? Do we think the next big thing that could come out, so I don't know, say your left back suddenly not having a left midfielder anymore, just having just a left back? Do we think that could be the next big thing, for example? Is it going to keep happening because of these European influences?
Yeah, I think there's always going to be a new manager that comes in with a new idea that if it works for them is going to want to be used by everyone. By everyone think, that works, so why don't we just do it? It kind of thing, like you said, with the 3 centre-backs and the wing-backs. Arsenal tried that for a while. I think it is just a fact of whenever a new manager comes in with a new idea that actually seems to get results, that it's going to be adapted by other teams.
Fair play. So teams that obviously can't spend that sort of money to get these big money goalkeepers, what are they supposed to do? To keep up with the times as such? Because obviously when you're changing your formation, it's simple. Everyone can just play 3 at the back, use 2 left backs, as left back and a right back as wing backs, and you're cushy. But what do we think? The teams that have just come up, for example, they obviously couldn't come into the league, bar Wolves, and go and spend big on a keeper. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to keep up with this, or?
Well, all they can do is basically they can't buy these really top class goalkeepers, but what they can do is change their maybe formation to make it work for them. Get players in that's going to work, because they're not going to keep up the Cities, Liverpool, the Arsenal, Chelseas. They just haven't got the money to. These sort of teams, they basically want to stay up or finish mid-table. They know they're not going to challenge for the title, so they get a basic all-round squad to build.
So on that note, what you're saying there, Rob, Kieran, 2 games are gone. For you missed the first episode back that we done, where you picked your teams to stay up and go down or whatever. So I'm going to start with you on this one. Which promoted side looks the best after 2 games gone?
I'd probably say Wolves.
Wolves? Why is that?
They looked alright against Everton. I think that. I can't even remember the other game they had. What was the other game? Is anyone know?
I can't think of the top of my head, to be honest.
I think,
No,
But no.
that's probably what it is, wasn't it?
Yeah. Cardiff didn't look all that great the other day when they were playing, and Fulham would be alright, but yeah, Wolves is like the better one out of the three.
They didn't play Leicester, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leicester.
Lost 2.
Lost 2-0, yeah. Lost 2-0 to a 10-man Leicester.
Yeah, so...
Drawing with Everton for your first game ain't exactly a bad.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
not
result,
bad
is it?
result.
I think
they'll get there eventually.
I think the thing with Wolves is when Ruben Neves plays well,
Yeah.
Wolves are always in with a shout of winning any game, really, because Ruben Neves is a talent.
He's a world class player already, to be fair
he
to him.
is.
Really like Porto's youngest ever captain or something.
Yeah. Porto's youngest ever captain. He's a great player.
Rob, for you, which promoted side looks the best?
Do you know what? I think Fulham. Not because they're like doing the best on like form, but because they look like they've got the potential to be a great squad.
Yeah.
They've got so many good players.
You took my answer. To be fair, I was going to say Fulham.
If
as
you
well.
two are both saying Fulham, like, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm agreeing with Kieran here. But Fulham have lost their first 2 games. Not looked great.
I don't know against Tottenham. They were in it. They were in the game until Ericsson. I believe Ericsson was Trippier. Sorry, Kevin Trippier scored his free kick. That was a brilliant free kick, and sort of killed the game off for Fulham. But up until that point, they were fully in with a shout of getting at least a point at Tottenham, which for a newly promoted side isn't. You know,
It is a good, it's a good result. At the
There's
end
nothing
of
to
the
be
day.
sniffed
But
at.
Fulham have been like West Ham this year. They've got loads of new players in,
Yeah,
so it's going to take them time to gel.
spent nearly £100 million for them, and it was
But as soon as they gel, they look like a great side.
exactly
They're not going to obviously challenge for the title or Europa League or anything, but they're going to be. I think they'll be alright this season for them.
So none of us said Cardiff though. Do you think they're going down then?
Yeah, I think so. I just can't see them staying up. I don't think they've got the quality about them to stay up.
I think they've still got the same old Championship players from last season, really, that probably ain't as good in the Premier League, and yeah, they didn't really look that strong the other day. So I think they could possibly go down.
They drew 0-0 with Newcastle. Newcastle in the game. I think when Newcastle went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
That was right at the end. That was
and
right
missed
at
the
the end.
penalty,
Yeah.
so.
That is a good result though at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Whatever way you look at it, newly promoted team, no one expects him to do anything. Drawing with an established Premier League side.
Mm.
Yeah,
That ain't,
side.
Yeah.
that ain't a bad result.
Not a bad result to get a point. Lost to Bournemouth 2-0 on the first day of the first game of the season.
So did West Ham.
Mm.
Yeah. Very true.
Right, so Rob, here's a question for you, mate. You've been saying to me for absolute weeks, Jace, when we do the next podcast, talk about Celtic and Rangers, because Rangers are now 19 games unbeaten. So Rob, Rangers are 19 games unbeaten.
Yeah, so I thought, no, that one. But yeah,
Do you think they can get better than Celtic, potentially?
I think so. I think if they can get the right players, like I say, they've got 19 games unbeaten. So if they can keep this up, there's no reason why they can't beat Celtic and win the title from them.
Right. The thing that always seems to come up with the whole Celtic and Rangers, who's better, who's best, is if they could come over here, how would they do? So, Lee, for you, Celtic and Rangers, if they come over to England, firstly, should they be allowed? Secondly, do you think they'd get on well?
It's one that always comes up every time sort of Celtic and Rangers are playing too well in the Scottish Premiership, and it always comes down to the same point of I believe I am probably wrong, but I believe they was offered an opportunity before, but they were told it's the same as sort of Cardiff and Swansea, that to do so means you'd have to start at like
League Two.
League Two, first rung of the actual the football league, in which they've always declined. They've gone, oh no, we deserve to go straight into the Premier League or straight into the Championship. And could they do well in the Premier League? Probably. They'd probably be I'd say they'd probably be a mid-table-ish.
See, I have to disagree with you there, for the sheer fact that if you look at Rangers' squad, I think I'm probably wrong here. I don't really follow me Scottish football, but Rangers had a player called Josh Windass, who they signed off of Accrington Stanley, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And he's gone up there, first team player, was their top scorer last season. Like, does that not sort of equivalate into...
I think it shows how bad the sort of standards up there, because it's always Celtic or Rangers. There's no other team really competing with them. It's just one in ones. But I just don't think they can do it in the English league. I don't think they could.
I personally think that'd be a mid-table championship side, possibly. I just don't think they're that strong, and I don't think they would even make it into the Prem, possibly.
I think if that was in the English league, I honestly think they would have to buy quite a lot of players to keep up with it.
I think they would struggle in the Championship as well. I think teams in the Championship got like higher quality players than Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah, they do dominate the. I think now with Rangers going 19 games unbeaten, we're starting to go back to sort of how the Scottish Premier League was before Rangers went bankrupt and had to start again from the bottom. But I think we're just getting back to that same point now where it's going to be that tug of war between Rangers and Celtic every year for the Scottish Premiership. I just think we're back to where we was whenever it was five years ago.
So what we're saying is that we don't think they should be allowed over.
I agree with Lee. Well, yeah, they should build their way up. I don't think they should just jump straight into the Premiership, really. I think, yeah, should.
But then what happens then? Because if they both get put in League 2 or something, it's going to make that league bigger to do space out.
The league's already big enough as it is. Like, you got to think that the Championship is it 24? It's 24, isn't it, in the Championship?
24. Yeah.
Or is it 20 in the Championship, 24 for League 1?
24 Championship, 24 League 1 and 24 League 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we're already at 24 teams in both. I mean, you can say, is there a thing for 3 more players to go into, like, do we make the Premier League 24? But that was the first couple of seasons of the Premier League was 24. But once again, it's adding another 4 games onto the
already congested season.
Yeah, it goes 42 games again.
Especially when you have international friendlies and qualifiers and
yeah, exactly that. You got to think of the demands of the Premier League teams for European football, and I know League Cup and FA Cups have to be for low leagues as well. But you got to think in the later rounds, then fixture lists really start to pile up.
So on to the European football. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid was the Super Cup final this week. Real Madrid obviously got absolutely battered. And Atletico took home the trophy. Is it coincidental that that's the first one since Ronaldo's gone and they lost it? What do we think?
I'm not sure whether it's... I don't know. Ronaldo's obviously probably was their best player, but you do look at Real Madrid's squad now and they still have a brilliant side. So was it Ronaldo that was keeping the team together? Or do we think like they're going to struggle without him? Was he that big influence on the team?
Have they really replaced him then? Like, I think their problem is they were so thought they were guaranteed Hazard.
Yeah.
That now Hazard's not gone. He's kind of left them with a massive Ronaldo Portuguese shaped hole to fill.
Well, they want to replace him with Marco Asensio, who does look like a good player, but I don't think he's obviously not up to Ronaldo standards. And it's pretty much the same squad, minus Courtois. It's pretty much the exact same squad. I think, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a struggle getting used to not having Ronaldo in there.
Lee?
Yeah, I mean, Ronaldo, I think when you take Ronaldo out of any squad, it's going to be a big hit. You know, but you got to think, Ronaldo, in his first game for Juventus, okay, he played well, but they only won 3-2 against Chievo, which Chievo's not, they're a good side, but they're, you know, relatively mid-table Serie A. So you got to think, yeah, Ronaldo may be a big loss for, like, but in terms of that.
So what are you trying to say, that he's not a big gain as such? a bigger loss than he is a gain.
Maybe. Let's see. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to Italian football.
The more technical side of it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I agree with you. Right, so segment time again. News from this week. The biggest news headline this week so far has been that Bordeaux sacked manager Gus Payet after publicly, we'll say, disgracing the board. Our manager's gagged from what they're sort of like truly feeling, do you reckon?
I think so. I think as soon as they start coming out saying, I need this, I need more money, or I need this, or this is going wrong, Bulls don't like it. They don't like... sometimes they want to keep stuff behind closed doors and not say what's actually going wrong. So they want to just go, oh, it's not going well for us at the moment, they don't blame a ref or something like that, but don't actually say the true feelings about what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. What shocked me about Payet though was the speed in which everything happened. It was literally something like they had an evening game, so he had a late press conference at like 9 o'clock. I think it was after the game, about 9 o'clock our time. Had the press conference where he made his comments about the board selling a player that shouldn't have been sold. Was suspended by 10 o'clock. Was sacked by 10 o'clock the following morning. It was the chain of events, the actual speed of it was...
I think for me it's in a way strange hearing this coming from abroad. Like over here in a way you're sort of used to it. Like as a Chelsea fan, obviously I know quite a lot about managers being a bit outspoken. Like obviously Conte last season had their disagreements over transfers and everything. Mourinho before that.
Yeah.
But it seems strange it happening to a team outside of England. If you get where I'm coming from, it seems to be a pretty English thing at the minute. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Like, who do we think's going to replace him at Bordeaux? There's been some big names chucked about.
I've seen Thierry Henry's. Because he wants to get out of Belgium, and he wants to become like a first team manager, so he could go for it.
Feeling people like Wenger that's been linked with the job. Don't think he could go there, but
Bordeaux, apparently, if you read the reports, Henry is more or less agreed to do it, which be a big job for him. Really, is his first managerial job. Really, you got to think Thierry's going to take it.
We think obviously Lampard, obviously Derby first job, and obviously you got Gerrard Rangers, which is their two biggest clubs. So you never know. He's been assistant manager under Di Matteo at Belgium.
Martinez.
Martinez, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, he took Belgium to third place in the World Cup. It's not nothing, you know. And he's now cancelled all of his Sky commitments because he wants to fully go full time into management. So he's got to be at least hoping to get a managerial job soon enough.
Yeah, it's the way they go nowadays, ain't it? Like these players, they seem to be finishing up and then going ideally more into the coaching side rather than anything else. So you see it quite a lot. Players finishing and then they're trying to go to these teams abroad, like La Liga, for example.
Yeah, La Liga. I mean, did you see the agreement now La Liga have got with the US? They're going to take a game a year, a game a season to the US now.
Well, see, the thing about that, there was 20 captains of the teams.
Yeah.
Led by Ramos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much just said, like, look, we were never asked about it in the first place. We don't want to do it.
In a way, though, do you think the clubs have every right to do that anyway? Like, I'm not being funny, but the four of us sitting here now with our 4 jobs, if our bosses decided that they were going to open a new office in America, for example, but do you feel like they should sort of consult you on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're an employer of the company, wouldn't you?
Well, I don't know.
You work for them. I suppose you'd want to know.
I think with all these things, it's like contractual. What you've got in your contract, isn't it? Like, I know in most employment contracts nowadays, there's something in it that will say management has a right to move you to any office You know, and stuff like that. It's going on to your point. If these players have got some similar clause that goes, if we decide we're going to move to wherever, you've got to move with us, sort of thing.
Move with us, or
Yeah.
But all these big teams, that they play all these Champions League and Europa League games abroad.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between one home game? It might even be an away game.
No.
One of your away games might be away.
I think that's the point of it, though. I think that's what they're complaining about as players, is that it's giving the opposition team potentially an advantage. Because, for example, if Real Madrid and Barcelona were drawn like level for the league at that time, and then they go out and play the last game of the season in America, and Real Madrid have already had all of their home games, Barcelona are one down because they're playing a home game out there.
Yeah.
Is that an unfair advantage in a way?
But it's like what the NFL, that the team has got to agree to play a game over here.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what should happen in America. Say they go to say like, for example, Atletico Bilbao or something. Go, we're happy to give up one of our home games.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to look at just going off over a second, like the players saying is it good. You've got to look at, is this actually going to be good from a La Liga standpoint to widen the appeal of La Liga out in America? You've got to think, like as Rob says, the NFL in Wembley. It's now made American football in this country bigger than it's ever been. You know, it does help with that publicity side of things. And if these leagues want to break America, so to speak, make soccer. My bad attempt at an American accent.
Carry that on.
No, but if they want to try and, you know, make it big out there, then these sort of things have got to happen. These exchanges, so to speak. You think it's like, does the Premier League now go and put a game in America as well and follow the same example?
Problem I've got with is no one in America is going to want to watch Getafe versus Real Sociedad, are they? Or no one's going to want to watch Crystal Palace and Fulham play in America. I
was listening to an interview with one of the Americans that has helped to put the deal together, to put La Liga in the thing. And they were saying, obviously, because it's I think it's a 15-year agreement that they've signed. And you've got to think and he said, obviously we're not stupid. The first few years are going to have to be, you know, Barcelona versus Villarreal. You know, it can't be, as you say, Getafe against, you know, it's... and then obviously as the years go by, then you can start bringing out the sort of middle league teams as the interest in La Liga grows out there. But I know what you're saying, is in what games do you decide goes out there?
Yeah. But then if you've got Barcelona and Real Madrid going out there, because they're obviously the two biggest teams, then obviously you said it gives an unfair advantage for other teams because they're not so popular, so they're going to be staying in Spain, and I just don't think it's a very good idea really.
That's the thing though, isn't it? Like, you got to think, I think, because weren't they saying that they were going to move one whole weekend of La Liga to America? So
no, it's
like
just
every team.
No, it's just one game.
Oh, is it? I
Just
thought it was
one
one team, one game for every team.
No, it's the same like the NFL game to Wembley. It's just one game.
Oh right, okay. Because my next point was going to be like, what stadiums would you then?
Yeah. I mean, but you look at America's got the biggest stadiums in the world.
Then that's the thing. I was going to go back to what Kieran was saying. Is Getafe, Villarreal going to sell out the MetLife Arena?
Yeah. Plus, from a player's perspective, like they do enough travelling. Like with the Champions League, I just think.
I think that's a good point. If you've got Real Madrid versus, say, if you're going to put Real Madrid versus Getafe, what happens then if Real Madrid have got to go from America to, say, Russia for a Champions League game? The travel and stuff in that is going to be it's going to be a big point as to what teams go out there. They're going to have to find a week in the league where there's not a midweek game. So it would have to be scheduled around there because, like the NFL at Wembley, they have it specially scheduled so that the teams that play at Wembley have the week off the next week. Because you can't do that in football. Because football, teams don't get 2 weeks off every season in the middle of the season.
It was like Tottenham last season because they were playing at Wembley. The NFL games had to come on a weekend where Tottenham were away from home.
Yeah.
So they could get the pitch changed.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting one to see how it will all work out in the end because, as you said, the players are not agreeing with it. It'd be interesting to see if they actually do, because it's meant to start from next season. So it'd be interesting to see if it does actually go ahead.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so we're coming up towards the end of this now. So we're going to go back onto the same section we done last week about you guys getting to know us. The topic we've all sort of come into an agreement is football idols growing up. So let us know yours on the Twitter or Insta or whatever you follow us on. Hopefully everything. Start with Rob.
I'd say my idol growing up was probably Buffon. I saw a goalkeeper playing. Obviously, he's an absolute world class keeper, and obviously he's been international. He's done it all basically. For a keeper growing up, watching him play, it's like wow. I would be that sort of standard one day.
And how he's managed to maintain that standard, the longevity of him has been amazing.
If anyone's ever played six-a-side football with Robert Jonas, when he compares himself to Buffon, that's made me here. That's made me here. Okay, what about you, mate?
It's got to be. Before I just go out, I'm better than Karius.
Fair game. No offence, Liverpool fans.
But I don't think it's going to be their problem much longer, is it? I think he's going on loan.
Yeah.
Okay, your idols up.
Well, would have to be Zinedine Zidane. I think, yeah, lighting up the '98 World Cup, touring Brazil apart when they had excellent players, and yeah, we all know that famous Leverkusen goal.
Yeah.
It was left foot. I just think it was a quality midfielder, and yeah, just looked up to him.
Just that age of Galacticos was the round of Galacticos was just incredible.
And then he's won everything as a manager as well.
Yeah.
Just a great career, really.
Lee?
I'm going to be slightly more lenient. You will pick players that didn't play for your club. Because always mine growing up was Dennis Bergkamp. He had to be. The amount of his mind for a pass that I don't think anyone has, still to this day, no one has had a better eye for a pass than Dennis Bergkamp. The things he could do with a football was not worth knowing. It was, he would see passes that weren't even there. It's like he had eyes in the back of his head. He knew exactly what runs Ian Wright back in the day was going for. He knew exactly what runs Thierry Henry was going for. And as well, the loyalty. You don't see loyalty like that anymore in football. He signed for us in '96. Was with us for 11 years. You don't see loyalty like that anymore.
What about you, Jax?
For me, it's the Brazilian magician, Ronaldinho, I suppose. The things that man could do with a football. I remember when me and Kieran were younger, and we'd sit there on YouTube at school, just watching all of these YouTube videos about what Ronaldinho was doing with a football. I think I'll always remember that video where he's hit the crossbar, he's come back to him and he's volleyed it and hit it again. Probably fake.
The Nike advert,
I think that did that not come back, like it was fake.
I don't know.
I think we used to believe it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Back in the day, but it was so easily believable, and then you see him doing all the other skills and stuff he used to do. It was just
when he run though, it used to be like the glue, the ball used to like glued to his feet, and it was just phenomenal.
It's like that goal that he scored against Chelsea. I think it was 04 Champions League. I think or 05 Champions League.
I think,
edge of the box, he just stops the ball completely still, sort of dabbles with his feet a little bit, and then just absolutely pelts it.
I still remember that the free kick that knocked us out of the World Cup in 2002.
The one where he loved Seaman.
Yeah, loved Seaman. It was just, that free kick was amazing. It was unreal.
I remember when he scored against Real Madrid. I can't remember what year it was, but like the Bernabeu gave him like a standing ovation, and for them to do that to a Barcelona player, it's just says a lot really.
Right, so we've run quite a lot over today.
Stand up for the 5 minutes we didn't do last week.
So I'm going to pass you over to Lee to give you all the information on where to get hold of us, and if you disagree with us, which I hope you do, so we get more followers, then Lee.
Alright. Well, if you're listening to this, you're obviously listening to us in some way, shape or form. If you're listening to it on Facebook, please give us a like. If you're not listening to it on Facebook, it's just search the Technical Area on Facebook, you can find us. We are on Twitter at Technical Area PC. We're on Instagram at the Technical Area PC. You can subscribe to us on YouTube by searching the Technical Area. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. We're also on any good podcast service. If you're on Android, we should be on any podcast service you use on Android. We're working on getting on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Should have an update for you there in the next couple of weeks. But apart from that, just make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, subscribe to us on iTunes, please. It helps us out a lot.
One last thing. Do you think we should get a video feed of us recording the podcast to post with the sound? If you think so, let us know. Rhymed it as well. Thanks from me.
Thanks from me.
Thanks from me.
Thanks for me.
See you again next week.